Cooking with Francois. I'm doing traditional English puddings in December. Our first one is called a sticky toffee pudding. You take 1.5 cups of chopped dates, and you take 3/4 a cup of boiling water, which is what I'm getting ready to do now. Brought my water up to a boil. You put those together, give them a quick stir, and you put it aside to cool. Next, we're going to start on the rest of our sticky toffee pudding. By the way, I forgot that you're also supposed to put the molasses in with the dates. That was 4 tablespoons or 1/4 of a cup of molasses that we put in there with the hot water and the dates. Sorry about that. All right, now we're going to put our dry ingredients, which are 1.5 cups of flour and a pinch of salt. That's 1/4. And another 1/4, make 1/2. And a cup. All right, that's our flour. Then we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And we're going to stir this up and get it ready to add to our next mixture. Our next mixture is going to be our butter and our sugar. So I've got the butter in here. The butter, let me tell you how much it was. It was 4 tablespoons and 4 teaspoons of butter. Now we're going to take brown sugar, which is going to be 3/4 of a cup. Of brown sugar. And we're going to cream those two together. I brought my mixer. So we're going to mix these. It works better. I left this butter out for a little while. Oops. Hoping it would soften up a little bit. And when I'm finished creaming this, we'll come back and add the next ingredients. All right, I have creamed the brown sugar and the butter. Now we add 1 whole egg. And this egg is also at room temperature. It's better to cook with room temperature eggs. And a teaspoon of real, you know how I am about my vanilla. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. It was sort of interesting when I went to the store in that they had fresh dates. Well, they're dried because that's the way you preserve them. But I got a few just to show you what they look like before we chop them up. I bought already chopped because I'm lazy. But anyway, so we have, this is what a date looks like. Now let's mix our egg and our vanilla with our butter and brown sugar. All right. Okay, be back in a minute with our next step. Now we are going to alternate adding to our egg, vanilla, brown sugar, and butter mixture. We're going to take turns with dry ingredients and the dates, starting and ending with the dry ingredients. Right, let's add some dates and some molasses. And some flour. When I get finished adding these in, we'll be right back to show you, once we get it mixed, what we do. All right, I have finished mixing my pudding. I got this great little Bundt pan that fits inside of the pressure cooker. I also got this real neat rack that you can put it on. But the first thing I need to do is to add 2 cups of water to the cooker. So 1, 2. All right, now that's ready. We take our mixture and distribute it into our pan. While I was away, I buttered this pan. I also cut a piece of parchment paper that will fit over the top of it, so that when it's in the pressure cooker, that will help protect it. Here, I put my bowl on top of it, of course. My parchment paper, since it's a Bundt pan, it has the tube in the middle. Then, you cover it with tin foil. This makes it waterproof. Like so. Now, I'm going to take my lifter, which will make life, it's made out of silicone, make life a whole lot better, and I'm putting it into the pressure cooker, making sure that the pot is not touching on any sides. Then, we take our cooker and lock it in place. This takes a little while to cook. It's going to take about 25 minutes, and then we have to let it cool for 15 naturally. So let's get started. I'm going to do pressure cook. Well, be back in a moment. I don't know, but when you cook, does it help to plug things in? Got to have a little bit of that electricity in order for this to work. So let's try pressure cook. And I want to cook it for 25 minutes. And I start it. And once it gets to pressure, it'll cook. I'll be back in a few minutes to make our wonderful caramel sauce that goes with this traditional English sticky toffee pudding. All right, I'm going to make some no-fail salted caramel sauce. We're going to take a half a cup of butter, as you can tell, this is the one I use to grease the pan with. So we put in that, and I'm going to put it on medium-low, and we're going to start melting it, and we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. All right, we've got our butter in the pan. I'm now going to add the brown sugar, which is 1 1/3 cups. Of course, this is dark brown sugar. There's a cup. And 1/3. Now, we're going to add the cream. The cream is 2/3 of a cup. Using our 1/3 cup measure. All right, and our 2 cups of heavy cream. We're going to bring this up to heat. And cook it for about 5 minutes. Once everything is heated up, we're going to cook it for 5 minutes until the sugar has dissolved. We will add our vanilla when we take it off of the heat. So, be back in a moment. All right. Well, it's just a simmering away. Got about another few seconds, and then we're going to turn it off and add the vanilla. Remember, when you're adding vanilla, vanilla has a little bit of alcohol in it. So don't ever do it with your face over the pan, because you might singe your eyelashes off like my mother did making bananas Foster one time. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Okay, we have done it now for our 5 minutes. We are going to turn it off. Here comes the vanilla. Oh yeah. All right, there is our beautiful caramel sauce that we will put over our pudding. And of course, I always make some extra. So anyway, we'll be back when it's time to take the pudding out of the pressure cooker. All right. We have less than a minute left, and I need to make a correction. And that is, at the beginning I told you we have to wait 15 minutes. Well, that's a different recipe, not this one. This one you quick release as soon as it's finished cooking, and it is beeping as we speak. So now we're going to do the quick release. finishes releasing, we're going to take the pudding out. We're going to run a knife around the edge, and we're going to plate it, and then put our caramel sauce on it, and then I'll probably take me a bite or two. So, we'll be back in a minute. All right, we've released the pressure. It's silicone, but I'm just not going to take a chance since it's wet. Look at there. All righty. Let's pull off the foil. Oh, it smells very good. Whew. I don't know if you can say something smells sticky, but it sure does smell nice. Oh my goodness. I'm going to move this to the front so that and move the camera so that you can see how beautiful our pudding turned out. All right. Now let's see if it'll come out of the pan for me. All righty, let's see here. We're going to go just around the edge to make sure that it's not sticking there. And we're going to put our plate on it. I'm going to get me a couple of towels. Flip it over. Look at there. Look at our beautiful pudding. Oh, and it smells so good. Now comes the good part. Well, all of it's a good part. Let me center it sort of on the plate here. Then we're going to drizzle it with our wonderful, no-fail brown sugar caramel sauce. Now, when I was growing up, if it was caramel, you had to burn the sugar in a black skillet. So this is the brown sugar version, which my family would probably knock me in the head if I used it instead of the burnt sugar kind, because that's the caramel flavor is basically burnt sugar. Wow. I'm going to bring the camera in again so you can see what the finished product looks like. Now let me cut me a slice and taste it. All right. Oh, it's so moist. Missed. I didn't cut all the way through, but I got it. Put a little sauce on it. There it is. Woo, let's taste it. cook this at your house, it's going to become a new tradition in your family. Oh, out of this world. So, until next time, let's dig in.